Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here's what's actually going on. Federal agents aren't out there like freelancing. They're not out there just like hanging out for their health or whatever, right? These federal agents are actually doing what they need to do. We're going to cut through the nonsense today, all right? And what we're seeing is, I don't know, this is kind of like a mini revolution up there. The federal agents are having their vehicles ransacked, their weapons stolen, their names doxxed, so mobs can track down their private cars. That's not activism. That's the opening stages of a civil fracture. And the same politicians who sent these agents into the field are now siding with the mobs, trying to intimidate them. That is how a country quietly comes apart. Some people have referenced this thing called a color revolution, okay? I don't know, but I'm going to look into that even further. Then you can immediately start recognizing that if you're just tuning in, if you were from another planet and you were watching what was happening right now in the United States, and you just turned on the TV and you saw how these political extremists, these sanctuary politicians, and this compliant media are now turning law enforcement into like this Civil War proxy. It's odd. I don't know how this is actually going on, but these federal agents aren't out there freelancing. They're on the street because voters made immigration a top issue. I voted for immigration reform, closed border. I voted for lower taxes and cheaper gas. And right now, that's what I'm getting. And I don't know what you voted for, but that's what I voted for. And that's why ICE is out there. That's not controversial. That's how a republic works. Now you've got extremists targeting those agents directly. And we're talking about federal vehicles. Federal vehicles. That is taxpayer-owned property that are being ransacked. They're stealing weapons out of the cars. They're stealing ammunition. They're stealing gear. And then the agents themselves are being filmed and doxxed, putting their families at risk. Their names were read out loud on a live channel on Midas Touch, Mercado Media. He doxed me. Their personal cars are hunted down. That's not a protest. It's gone too far. This is deliberate political intimidation of the people and intimidation of the people from enforcing the law. And now you have this left-wing radical news nut hack that gets absolutely destroyed by Karoline Leavitt. And I want you to see like what she said to this guy, because what she said here is exactly what all of us are thinking. I mean, I'm so glad that she did, because given the opportunity that she had, if she didn't use it, I believe I would be a little ashamed of the missed opportunity. And I'm sure many of you would be as well. But I'm proud of Karoline Leavitt. I think Donald Trump has hired an absolutely phenomenal press secretary. I am wondering who will fill in as press secretary when she goes on baby leave, because I think she's pregnant. Let's check this out here real quick. I think what she says is amazing. And let me get my buttons moved around. You know, you've all heard that. Let's roll it.
Thanks, Caroline. Earlier, you were just defending ICE agents generally, and earlier on, Secretary Nome spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 US citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake, like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. but you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised in your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Lake and Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
My other question is, and I'm just going to go there right now because I am a nationalist. I am an American first guy. Why is there an Irish, I think he's Irish, he might be British, I don't know, I don't care. He's not even American. He is a reporter in my White House, in your White House, criticizing an administration that he's not really a part of. Okay, he might be here legally. He probably is. He's probably gained American citizenship. But why come to our country if you want to criticize us? Go back and fix your own problems. That's my thought. And I am so glad to see Karoline Leavitt lay the absolute smackdown on this guy, because I'm sure many of you are thinking the exact same damn thing. Why are we allowing people that are not from here to come to our country, try to shape our policy, and criticize us? Why did you leave whatever shithole you were from, right? I just don't understand. I cannot wrap my mind around that. It drives me crazy, and I'm sure it bothers some of you. Sorry for the colorful language. It's Friday, and TGIF. That's what I'm saying. I hope something big gets dropped from the Supreme Court this afternoon. That's what I'm hoping, and I believe it will. I believe we're going to see something massive come out from the Supreme Court. But in the chat, let me know, why do you think the news media acts the way they do? Why can't they just report the news? Why do they have to be so biased? Why can't anyone in the news media, left or right, bring up the fact that this woman and her partner, and the partner said after the incident, well, we didn't know you were using real bullets. You just tried to run the guy over with a real car. Why isn't anyone talking about that? But then they blame the federal officers. Nobody goes to McDonald's and bothers them when they're working the drive-thru. Give me a break, you clowns. You absolute clowns. You are the absolute worst. I don't know if it gets any worse. Let me show you something here. This is a little bit of hope. Elon Musk, at a little after midnight, announced to 232 million followers that he has on X that it's time to invoke the Insurrection Act. If you agree with Elon, type number 1 or a yes. If you don't, that's fine. You can disagree with Elon Musk. I personally agree with Elon Musk, and it's time to do it. It is time to make this move. The chess game is at a point where we have to do this. I will say this, the way that they paint these pictures is absolutely disgusting, but the news media is better at painting lawlessness as protest. They are better at painting riots as free speech than Bob Ross ever thought. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you a clip. Some of you might not like the guy. I don't care. I do like him. I don't have to agree with everything that someone says to like them. That's why I would say I'm a free thinker. I'm a free thinker, ladies and gentlemen. And Friday is free thinking day, so buckle up.
Tim Pool. It seems like they want some sort of civil fracture, Tim. Do they?
It seems so. Now, I don't want to say at the highest levels Democrat politicians want to foment civil war, as I often talk about, but they're beholden to their constituents. So we have a mayor suggesting the police should now be fighting federal agents, which is horrifying. But it's actually quite simple. ICE agents are out on the ground across the country because I asked them to be, because you asked them to be, because the American voter said immigration is a top issue for us. We want Republicans in office. We want Donald Trump in office, and we want this problem solved once and for all. So what are we seeing? Violent extremists who oppose our democracy and the will of the people. That video you showed where they put the tow rope and rip out the weapons locker, that's not the only one. There were other vehicles they ransacked. There's a video purporting to show a man stealing what appears to be a rifle from a federal vehicle and ammunition, as well as patches, tourniquets, and other objects. This is not a protest. This is not a riot. These are political extremists, and it's overt terror. I'll tell you when it upgrades to terror, when these people are reading the names of the agents on camera, which they did after they ransacked the vehicle, after they leaked their names, and apparently went and found their private vehicles. So we're at a whole new level. And Jesse, I used to go on the ground all the time. I've covered tons of these protests. I've been personally...
Is he right? He brought up a point. He brought up a point that did they cross the line between activism and actual terrorism when they started reading the names of these ICE agents? Did they cross the line? Is that the Rubicon? Because I believe he is right about that. I believe he is 100% right that they crossed the absolute line when they started reading the names of these ICE agents, reading their license plates to their personal cars, reading out their addresses, reading out the hotels where they were staying. That's where I believe that they crossed the line. I've got a question posed in the chat. Do Democrats, and what I mean is not the people, well, maybe the people too, but do the Democrat politicians need chaos to get reelected? Do they need the chaos to get back in power? There's no moderator taking down post. So if you think that, you're dumb. Nobody's taking down anything. If you say something stupid or racist or vile, then it will probably get removed, but that's YouTube, not us. Okay, so pepper your anus.
Been assaulted by many of these extremists. I have never seen this level of extremism. I mean, we've seen fire bombs, we've seen broken windows, but to ransack federal vehicles and steal their weapons. So let me say this about what happened to Renee Good. You may have seen the video immediately following the moment where she dies, and it's tragic. I wish it didn't happen. But you hear her lover say, "Why were you using real bullets?" There's two different people here. There's two different groups. You've got your political extremists, and they radicalize your liberal ICE mom, your run-of-the-mill suburban mom who doesn't really understand what they're being asked to do. And these women, they've gone out to your protest where they wiggled their little flags and their signs, and they said, this policy is bad and that policy is bad. This is something different. The extremists are advocating that these middle-aged women show up to federal law enforcement operations where armed federal agents are seeking out.
I have never seen, he brings up a great point, middle-aged white women that should be home drinking Reuniti at 9 o'clock in the morning watching The View. Go back home and watch The View.
Criminal cartels, murderers, rapists, child traffickers. And they're wondering why these ICE agents are apprehensive and armed with lethal munitions. They're not prepared for this, and I fear it will get worse.
No, I mean, they're crash test dummies, and I'm not calling them dummies. I'm just saying they're being used like crash test dummies. They're naive, they're untrained, they're just not cut out for this.
He is 1,000% right. Jesse Waters is 1,000% right. They are being used. There is something happening behind the scene that people need to be aware of. And right now, we are about to find out who is behind all of this. This is coming to an end. We are going to find out. And when we do, it's going to be glorious. Okay? It's going to be glorious when we find out who is behind it, but it's coming. There is a new deputy director of the FBI that has just been appointed. They have not announced the name. I believe it's going to come out today. And I believe the entire focus of what's going to happen is to find out who is paying for this, because these people are making salaries on the streets doing this. Kash Patel came out yesterday afternoon. This was actually last night with John Solomon, and I want you to listen to what he says here.
I can tell you, generally speaking, that these protests, whether it's Minneapolis or LA or Portland or where have you, aren't spontaneous. They don't magically appear. Most of these individuals aren't even from those respective areas. But more importantly, behind that, someone has to pay for it. Somebody has to pay for the transportation. Somebody has to pay for the signs. And when you find things like every single person is holding the exact same sign on the exact same piece of wood and the exact same placard, they didn't get together beforehand and do that. It is an organized, in my opinion, effort to criminally disrupt and cause chaos into our communities. And this FBI is investigating every single organization and person responsible for paying or contributing in any way to the organization of these protests, and also going after those actors, the criminal actors at the protests themselves.
You heard it right there. You heard it right there. Let me know in the chat, who do you think is paying for this? I think it could be bigger than the Open Society, than the George Soros Foundation. I think it could be bigger than Act Blue. I think it could be bigger than private individuals. I firmly believe there are 2 or maybe 3 worldwide organizations that want to see America fail. Number 1, China. Number 2, Iran. And number 3, the World Economic Forum. I believe all 3 of those entities want us to fail. They want America to fail. When America fails, when America is weak, they succeed. They fill the gap. They fill the void. And right now, Iran is under pressure. China is under pressure. The World Economic Forum is under pressure because we're planning to leave. We are leaving the United Nations. Donald Trump has given them the proverbial middle finger, just like he did that moron in Detroit. And I believe one of the other organizations that is really suffering right now is Mexico. And you probably didn't expect me to say that. But Donald Trump has shut down their number 1 export. Mexico's number 1 export Let me know in the chat, what do you think Mexico's #1 export is? Eidolon, welcome back, sir. Thank you. I believe we have shut down Mexico's #1 export. And by doing so, Donald Trump has become the most hated man in the world. Look at this. Matt Gaetz. I'm going to give the devil his due.
What I think it correctly laid out is that's just not a thing.
It's been my opinion for a long time that we are actively at war with Mexico, but it's not been declared. But my question for you is, the Mexican president, is she hostage to these cartels, or is she a cooperative willing member?
Cooperative willing member. And so she's under protective status because really she's fighting against a large cartel, their government, and then also the cartels that have a symbiotic relationship that allow Mexico to be the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. It's not Iran, it's Mexico. And so when you look at that,
that's a hot take, but I bet true.
When you look at...
Is he wrong? I believe the #1 export coming out of Mexico is people. Not only little people, people that come here and infiltrate our society, and they get free money, they get free health care, they get Medicare, they get food stamps, they get EBT, they get all of this money, and then they send it back to Mexico. We got somebody watching over on X. Donald Trump is a 5-year-old brain. Barry Lewis, thank you for watching on X. I love a good troll in the morning. Thank you, Barry. And Barry, Donald Trump has such a great brain that you allow Donald Trump to live rent-free in your head. I love it. You're absolutely right. American tax dollars. Is this true? Is Mexico one of the largest supporters of terrorism? Did they take out Iran, proverbially speaking, as being the #1 sponsor of terrorism? Algorithm enhancement received. Yes, we love an algorithm enhancement, whatever that is.
How many countries the cartels are in? They are in 65 countries right now. And just a few months ago, it was Germany and Poland that had to do a counter cartel operation on their border to counter the Mexican cartels. They had a massive meth lab right there. And so when we realized that how powerful the cartels are globally, and we realized that all their headquarters are inside Mexico, and that it is a complete sanctuary, and that Mexico as a government gains financial favor because of their operations, both licit and illicit.
I believe he is right. Thank you, ED Ventures, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Mike, ACG, thank you very much. I'm going to give you both a combo.
Amen.
Boom shakalaka.
Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
There's the combo boom shakalaka. Super chats, let's go $10 and above today. You're going to get a boom shakalaka. And a big shout out. For those of you that don't know, a lot of the money from the super chats and memberships I use to help veterans. I am helping veterans with service dogs. I'm also starting to help veterans get some guitars. We're going to try to provide some level of sanity to some veterans that they could use some help. And I've talked to quite a few guys that have been watching what's happening on state-sponsored TV, which is what's happening right now. It reminds them of Syria. It reminds them of Yemen. It reminds them of Iraq. It reminds them of Baghdad. It reminds them of Fallujah. There is nothing in the United States that should be reminding men and women that serve their country of the worst places that they've ever been. That's not right, guys. That is not right. Okay? Here we go. Alleged gang member arrested for stealing a rifle. 33-year-old Raul Gutierrez. I pronounce that name as illegal immigrant. Alleged Latin Kings member is the one that stole the rifle out of the car. 5x5. Thank you very much. Letting me know the audio is good. Appreciate that. Fred's been working on it. Worth speed. Mexico gets paid on all borders. Yeah. Cartels are not just here in the United States. They are everywhere. Oh, I love this. I love that. Carrying her or him or shim or a he, she. Exactly the way they should be carried. Like a sack of turds. Music heals the mind. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate that. I'm going today to Guitar Center. There are 2 used guitars I'm going to the Guitar Center today to buy. I think one is an Epiphone and the other is a Taylor, like a baby Taylor. So I'm going today to go buy a couple of guitars to help out with some vets. So if you want to support that, if you want to help, you feel free. I would love it. The little Cash App description's down there in the bottom. Really appreciate any and all help that you guys can provide. You don't have to. Don't feel obligated. I've done this by myself. I'll continue to do it by myself. I know I've got a lot of support in the chat. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. And Laura Ingraham. I'm on the fence with Laura. I don't know what you think about Laura Ingraham. Scale of 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10. How much do you like Laura Ingraham in the chat? 1 being horrible, 10 being the next coming of, I don't know. I liked Andy Rooney on 60 Minutes.
The man who had arrested last night, breaking into that vehicle, Tom Homan just said he was arrested. I know you just talked to a high-placed source at DOJ. Tell us more.
Yeah, so he wasn't arrested last night. He could have been, but the Minneapolis police didn't bother chasing the vehicle that had just stolen a high-powered rifle out of an FBI car. So that stole it out of one of these weapons lockers that was in the back. But what I can confirm now is that Raul Gutierrez, age 33, that you see in the video that I posted last night, stealing a firearm from an FBI vehicle, has been arrested by the ATF and the DOJ. They executed an arrest warrant today. And
so Nick Sorter just basically put his life in danger because he's the one that filmed the Trende Aragua guy stealing the gun. Without his footage, you see that? I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm pointing at. I am that dub. Up in the top right corner of the video clip, you can see the name Nick Sorter. He is putting that up there. Compared to MS Now, Laura Ingraham is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. You absolutely nailed it. 1,000%. Thank you for that. Thank you for that perspective. Okay. Great perspective. Now, here is something that I believe is probably my dream job. If I ever got an opportunity to get paid to go on CNN and just radically drop hammer elbows on them of common sense.
Do you carry your papers?
I carry an ID. If I'm driving.
Right, but an ID doesn't prove your U.S. citizenship. A driver's license doesn't. Do you carry your passport, your social security card?
I do carry my passport actually everywhere I go. Keep it in my backpack. I travel a lot. I use it sometimes. Look, I didn't hear the resolution to that, by the way, and I didn't hear a direct answer to the question either. I'd love to know how that interaction turned out.
Are you comfortable with that?
I'm comfortable with the federal government enforcing U.S. immigration laws, and these kinds of distractions.
So the Democrat Party, and I say Democrat Party, the Democrat Party network, CNN, is now asking Scott Jennings, do you carry your papers? The same group of people that would not allow you to go visit your family members in nursing homes, would not allow you to go shopping, would not allow your kids to go to school, would not allow you to go to work, shut down schools when you didn't show your card, the papers. Do you remember that? The old Fauci ouchie, the old Wuhan death breath, that you had to get your card or you couldn't go buy groceries, you couldn't have Thanksgiving dinner with your family. And now they're saying, do you carry the papers? This is Joe Rogan's fault. Or not his fault, but he definitely propagated this formula. That's what I think. Do you show your papers? You pieces of absolute rhetorical, hypocritical, festering, pus-ridden piles of lying fecal matter. That is what the news media is right now. That is what they are. They are absolute hypocrites. How many of you couldn't go anywhere if you didn't have the card? You scumbag, lying pieces of crap. How many of you almost lost your job because you didn't get the papers? You pieces of trash. You absolute dingleberries on the ass of life. That's what these people are. That is what these people have become. Dingleberries on the asshole of life. Because there were people that were forced to lose their jobs. They had a chance. They had a choice. You either get the Fauci or you lose the job. Okay? That's just the way it was. And it pisses me off. Yeah, you couldn't fly without the card. And many times if you couldn't fly, you lost your job. There were military members that refused to get it. They lost their jobs. They lost their careers. Stuart Scheller. Does that name ring a bell? You son of a biscuit eaters. Gosh, you people. I say you people. I mean those people. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I got to calm down. My blood pressure's getting up. My blood pressure's boiling. When I get involved in media hypocrisy, it really agitates me.
Is it time for the Insurrection Act, or would that just add gasoline to the fire?
Well, I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that, but it's certainly an option, a viable option. So actually, I'll be meeting with the president tomorrow. So, you know, I think it's something that needs to be on the table because this cannot continue. There is going to be more bloodshed. I'm telling you. I hope I'm wrong, but I haven't been yet. There's going to be more bloodshed if something hasn't done.
It's going to spread, and most Minnesotans, by the way, and I want to say this tonight because folks have reached out to me, support ICE. It's this radical group of anarchists, and when you see them close up, you really get a sense of who they are. It's this crowd, a lot of them paid, a lot of them working, double shifts of protest against the rest of the state, which are reasonable, common sense, peaceful people of all backgrounds, including immigrant backgrounds. They don't like what's happened in the Twin Cities, and we're going to expose more about Jacob Fry in a moment. But Tom, I think most people are good people. They want the bad people out, and they want some peace in their neighborhoods.
And we're going to get the bad people out. And as far as the organization, everybody that's planning these protests, giving these people weapons and funding this, again, justice is coming because we're deep diving that whole thing.
He's got an evil grin, doesn't he? Tom has a mastermind grin. Look at this.
The organization, everybody that's planning.
Look at that smile. He knows what's happening. He just said he's meeting with the president today. He's meeting with the president today. Most big decisions coming out of Washington, D.C. happen on a Friday. They happen on a Friday. Look at that smile. That's who I want working for me. Thanks for all you do. Love your show. Thank you, Nancy. Super chat from Comics and Robotics. Comics and Robotics. I got right back there. G.I. Joe #1. I'm a big G.I. Joe comic book fan, and I go to Rock Bottom Comics here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Every Friday, you go in, you tell Alan that I sent you, Alan's an old school comic guy. I buy 2 comics, or I have those in my pulls, G.I. Joe and The Punisher. It's the only comics I read. And yes, I am a 50-year-old comic book fan. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I just ruined your narrative that I'm a normal human with a hobby. Let's talk about this. Normal human with a hobby. Cincinnati. Is there a song, something about Cincinnati? Cincinnati. I think there's a song about Cincinnati. I don't know remember it, but I think there's a Cincinnati. City of Cincinnati, Ohio. Total reported crime demographics by 5-year totals. Now, I don't want to be so honest here, but I think y'all would probably not watch me if I wasn't honest. Okay, here's where I'm probably just going to get nuked. Blacks control 38% of the population of Cincinnati. Whites, 47%. Crime committed by 38% of the population is 73% of the crime. Crime committed by 47% of the population is 17%. Shootings by 38% of the population are 90% black. Cincinnati, Ohio. Shootings by white people, 8% of the crime, or 8% of the shootings. I'm sorry. The numbers do not freaking lie. This is the United States Census, City of Cincinnati. I don't care if your feelings are hurt. I don't care if you need to dilate. I don't care if you need some lube. I don't care. Right now, I don't care. These are facts. These are not feelings. This is absolute statistics. If you don't like it, put your head back in the sand and leave your ass exposed, because that's what's going to happen. If you ignore the numbers, you are a hypocrite and you are morally bankrupt. You are an absolute dumbass. If you don't recognize that, you're a dipshit. Period. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Cincinnati, Democrat-run city. Democrat-run. Let me go ahead and give myself one of these in the morning.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
The truth offends. Thank you so much. There's a song about Cincinnati. Something like Here I Come or something like that. Ben, you're on fire today. I'm pissed, man. I am pissed. I'm drinking some level 3 coffee, so let's do that. The math ain't mathin', assholes. The math ain't mathin', right? Sorry if I swear. I just don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I'm never going to be successful. I'm never going to be successful. Right? But the math ain't mathin'. I don't think y'all watch for anything to be sugar-coated. You want it to be sugar-coated? Go watch somebody that sits in front of their yacht, in front of their pool, in front of their poetry. Go watch that. If you want some sugar-coated stuff, go for it. Go for it. I'm not going to sit here for 4 hours and drone on about, well, it seems like some 4th dimensional chess. It seems like some 4D chess that we have going on here. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm going to bring you some facts. And then I'm going to give you my opinion on said facts. Susie, Cincinnati, the Beach Boys. Thank you so much. Eidolon. I knew there was a song about Cincinnati, and I just didn't have it on my playbook. Okay? You know what? That's just the way it is. I don't know if we want to go there. I don't think anybody's interested in that. You know what? I always like seeing how this is like a peek inside. She's got her coffee cup, very humanized. She's dressed like Elvira or some crap, like she's going to a funeral. I think she's headed to the funeral for the Democrat Party. But this is always like peeking inside of a room where people throw crap at each other. This is a mosh pit. This is a retarded mosh pit.
This threat after protests in Minneapolis grew even more chaotic overnight. And there was another shooting involving a federal agent. This agent allegedly ambushed. The president posting this, we'll put it up for you, saying that if Minnesota's politicians don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, I will institute the Insurrection Act. So that could lead to him deploying U.S. troops on U.S. soil in that state. Elena, let me start with you. This has now been taken to a whole new level by the president with this threat. What are you hearing about this?
Yeah, this is a very big deal. And I should know that this is something we've heard President Trump, of course, threaten in the past. He did so during his first term.
I think they're trying to. Now it's the president's fault. Yeah. Now she's wearing last night's dress. That had to be a woman. No man would ever say that comment. If you did, you're gay. If you said that and you're a dude, you probably dress up as something else. I don't know. Whatever. You have the right to say that. Trump has the authority. Absolutely. Let's do this. I'm ready. I am ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'll say it one time and one time only. Turn the audio down. If you don't, you'll know why the phone was suddenly disconnected. Okay? I'm not Randy Travis. Okay? Operator, please connect me. There we go. What is that? Okay. Let me see here. I can turn that down a little bit. Sorry about that. I think I had the audio turned up a smidge. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. Let me see what this text message said here. All right, let's go. Let's grab some calls here. 615-475-7864. Feel free. Give me a call. Line 1. Where are you calling from, line 1?
Arizona.
What would you like to say?
Hi, Ben. I was just watching, commenting on what you're talking about here on the. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. On the.
How about this
statement of insurrection?
Okay.
It needs to be done. That's my point. Army veteran, wife and mother here. That's all I want to say. Love you. Good show.
Thank you very much for calling. Get another coffee. Get another coffee. Get some level 3 coffee there, okay? Level 3 coffee. Somebody just sent me a picture. $1 a dozen for eggs. $1 a dozen for eggs. That's pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing. $1 a dozen. We got a dozen eggs last night. We got Silkies. They lay eggs year round, even in the winter. Silkies. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Give me a call. Love to talk to you. Don't get tongue-tied. I'm a normal dude. I am not, I'm a normal dude. Line 2. Go right ahead, line 2.
Hello, Ben. This is Dave in Virginia.
Dave in Virginia. Talk to me, Dave. What's going on? Oh, hold on, Dave. Hold on, Dave. One thing real quick.
Who is it? It's me, Dave. Open up, man. I got stuff. Dave's not here.
Dave's here now. Dave's here now. Talk to me. What you got, Dave?
Yeah, I believe that those protesters became rioters as soon as they broke into the ICE agent's car and they pushed him. So now it's a riot. So now we can send the Marines in to show our support for our ICE agents and to stop these people.
Do you think their goal, using your prerogative, do you think their goal the entire time was for riots or for peaceful protest?
Oh no, they're rioters.
Okay.
They pushed everybody. They pushed the agents and stuff every day. But that when they helped knock him down, and then they broke in the car, then they became rioters for sure.
I believe they also wanted a Renee Good. They wanted a George Floyd. I believe the Democrat Party only survives by chaos. I believe they can only survive by chaos. Dave, thank you very much for calling. And I'm so glad that Dave was actually here. Appreciate you. Let me play that again. This is so perfectly timed.
Who is it? It's me, Dave. Open up, man. I got stuff. Dave's not here.
I think everybody that's calling in is named Dave. Everyone is Dave from now on. There we go. Let's play this clip, and I want to get your reaction. Hello, Dave.
So a question that people probably have when they see us again, like, wow, they're back at the federal building, more protesters. It is Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern, right? Do these people have jobs? So we have been checking in with some of the people a short time ago who said they do have jobs. They just think that this is more important, Martha. So it's something we'll keep an eye on. But once again, whether you like ICE or not, whether you like Border Patrol or not, they're federal agents. You can't impede. You can't put your hands on them. Back to you.
Well, I wonder what kind of job you get to say, I can't show up today. I'm going to be outside protesting. I don't know how many companies would put up with that for too long.
Too many companies would put up with it. There's probably some companies that will allow you to go and protest. You call in, you're like, hey, Dave, can I go protest? Yeah, sure thing, Dave. Take care, Dave. Bye, Dave. Feel free to call in 615-475-7864. Love to talk to you. Get your opinion. If you didn't show up to work, welcome to the show. This is Ben. Nope, not happening. That's the example of calling in when audio. There you go. There's the example. There's the example of what happens when you call in and you have audio playing in the background. Simple example. Example made. Message received. Here's Canada. Tell me what you think about Canada right now. Heidi, I know you're in Canada. I've said for a long time I don't care about Canada. This confirms it.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
So Canada, Mark Carney announces China represents the new world order, and he wants to join the new world order. Who sang the song, I got jokers to the left of me, clowns to the right, I'm stuck in the middle with you? Mexico, cartels. Canada, new world order. We're stuck in the middle. Somebody says I'm in Quebec. Canada's cooked. Canada's cooked. Absolutely. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Hello, it's Dave.
I think it's time for the Patriots to roll in and bust some heads to the white meat.
You know, I don't hate to agree with you. I believe at some point, I don't know what that point is, but I know you and I both have different lines in the sand. And at some point, real America is going to reach their line in the sand. What say you, sir?
Yeah, I'm balled over at this point. You know, I served in the Air Force in Operation Enduring Freedom, and I've just had enough. I mean, it's time for the Patriots to band together and bust some heads.
Were you in were you in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever you at? Go ahead.
I went to Afghanistan for 2 years.
So you've seen riots in other countries. I never thought I would see this in our America. I never thought I would.
The only way to deal with this is to hit it head on. If Trump's not going to do something, we gotta do something. I mean, it's enough is enough. We can't vote our way out of this.
I'm going to agree with you, sir. I'm damn sure going to agree. I don't think we can vote. Here's the other thing. We can't trust Congress or the Senate or the governors or the mayors or the chiefs of police to legislate us out of this. That's what we can't trust.
Right.
Appreciate you calling. Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy.
God bless America. God bless America. Great call there. Great call. This is interesting. Some fun facts about the Insurrection Act. Been invoked 30 times by 17 different presidents. Okay? 17 different presidents. In fact, 37% of American presidents have invoked the Insurrection Act. See that? Interesting. Very interesting, to say the least. Let's go here. What was that? Let me go here. Let me see if that changes the audio a little bit better there. I think the audio might be a little better there. There we go. Let me know if the audio is better. I changed the mic setting there. It was invoked to deal with rebellions and uprising. Examples: armed groups, openly defied federal law, state or local authorities, courts were blocked. Looks like described Minnesota. It damn sure looks like Minnesota to me. That's my opinion. Let me know. I just adjusted a little mic setting there. Let me know what you think. Line 2. What you got, line 2?
I'm going to say your last caller is 100% correct. And it's funny, I just had the exact conversation with a friend last night. I think the only thing that prevents that, because he asked me, what prevents that? What prevents the Patriots from doing what the last caller was talking about, is one thing. And that, do we know if the law and the government will have our back? That's it.
It seems like they don't. It seems like they don't have our back.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the one thing that prevents that from happening, is that question being unanswered.
Yeah, and you know what? That is sad that you and I, or me and all of you, have come to realize that our own government doesn't give a shit about us anymore.
Right. You know, we would be standing up for law. We would be standing up for the Constitution. We would be standing up for the Bill of Rights. We would be standing up for all that is good and right. But would they have our back?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you very much for the call. Appreciate it. Great call this morning.
Mm-hmm.
2 great callers in a row. Okay, you have loads of support, including those who hang back observing. Thank you for your ongoing service. Annie's Beaver House. Thank you, Annie. Protesters equal MK Ultra. I don't know the connection there, but that's an interesting take. Huh. Okay. MK Ultra. I was not prepared to go MK Ultra this morning. Have you seen the video of the Black Panthers? I have not. Send me an email. Let me know where that is. I have not seen. I'm not a follower of the Black Panthers. Let's go here. You know what? Let's just keep this train rolling. Keep the train rolling. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Give me a call. Let me know what you think. Our political hack sold us out. Hello, it's Dave. Talk to me. Nope. That's what happens when you have audio in the background. That's what happens. No, not happening. Turn it down. It's rude. I would never walk into your house with my speakerphone going. Okay. Tell it to the Marines. Good call. Line 1. Go right ahead, line 1.
Good morning, Dave from California.
Good morning, Dave. It's Dave. How are you?
Doing good. I just want to say, I think it's more of a good versus evil, not a Republican versus Democrat.
You think it boils down to that level? Seriously?
Yeah, there's demons walking among us everywhere. Just look at all the heinous things all these people in the Democratic Party have been accused of, or, you know, insane, sickening things. It's all about the devil and God, and the light needs to be shined in the dark.
I can't, it would be really hard for me to disagree with your comments. It would be really hard for that. Thank you for calling, Dave. Appreciate
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. We got Dave in California. We got a lot of Daves here. Been the MK. Oh, I'm not going into that. I don't know. The MK Ultra theory isn't too far-fetched. I bet the toxicology report on the widow and the deceased wife would show some SSRIs. Oh, definitely. definitely SSRIs. Let me ask you this, guys. I ran across something last night doing some research. And you probably don't want to know where I do my research. But I ran across something last night doing the research. And I want you to see this. This is so amazing. Notice anything about this photo here? Oh, let me hide that. You notice anything about that? Let me grab this call here from Bobby in Tennessee. What you got, Bobby?
Hey, truly, we can't arrest our way out of this either. But that's just one side of the story. Trump uses the Insurrection Act, used it the same way as Lincoln. He arrested judges. He arrested newspaper people, shut down newspapers. He even went as far as arresting politicians to help get the country secured again. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him arrest these liberal district judges that keep interfering in the actual powers that he has.
Bobby, I believe the Democrat Party did a couple of things much better than we could ever do. I believe the Democrat Party put some fail-safes in place with liberal judges, and they have been the checks and balances. They have been what's prevented America from actually being successful right now. They have been speed bumps to justice.
They're on the other side. They are the enemy. And, Trump come out and said he's going to arrest anybody that's behind any of this, including politicians. Yeah. And they're actually looking into calling the Democrat Party, getting the whole party involved in a RICO Act charge.
Act Blue needs to be investigated. Act Blue needs to be investigated. Bobby, I appreciate you calling. Thank you so much, sir. You take care. God bless you.
God bless you.
Bobby's a musician. Look at this image here. This was on TV in South Carolina. Democrat, South Carolina, Senator Lindsey Graham. Is there ever been a more true photo? I put a poll up. Where will the riots spread? 31% of you say Seattle, 28% say LA, 23% say New York City. Where else do you think they could go? Do you think the riots will spread? I believe we're going to see them spread. Somebody says, I thought Act Blue was shut down. No, you can't do that. That would be racist. You can't shut down something blue. You would be racist against Smurfs. You would be racist against Smurfs. It does look like Max Headroom over there on the left. I want to do this. I want to do this because I think this is going to tell the tale. Quick, easy poll, and you can type yes or no. Are you a former Democrat? I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday that was a Democrat, and his party has left him behind. He said he wasn't radical enough for them anymore. You know why? He's law enforcement. Ben put on the Black Panther video. I don't know what the Black Panther video is. And I'm almost scared to Google this. All right, let's see. Black Panther. Is it the Marvel comic thing? What is this? Black Panther chairman message to people. Oh, okay. Let's see here. The guy's an immigrant? No, are you kidding me? What? Is this guy really a immigrant? Is this the video here? Let me see. Let's see. Let me know if this is it. Is this it? Ben, you make me laugh. Love you. I think this guy's an immigrant. He looks like an immigrant. No, it actually says. Let's see. Chairman Paul Birdsong, Black Panther's party message to people who say they shouldn't stand against ICE. Who is this clown? Okay, let me see. Let's see here.
All power to the people. Chairman Paul Bertram reporting for Active Community Defense Duty. Listen, two things that I need to run by you. Thing number one is, a lot of people are saying that we should not stand up against ICE because we're standing for people that aren't us. And Black Panthers only stand for black people. That is a lie. Huey P. Newton said that we are internationalists and we stand with all oppressed people no matter what color they are. That's the founder of the Black Panther Party that said that. So everybody who's running around talking about Black Panthers don't stand up for people other than black people don't know a damn thing about the Black Panther Party.
I don't know a damn thing about the Black Panther Party, and I'm going to flush him. There we go. Because I think he's a dumbass. That dude's white. Yeah, I believe he is too. Let me see here.
Y'all, watch the beard.
Let me see here. I think this guy's white. Oh, gosh. He's not even black. His family came from the Caribbean. Mixed heritage. His mother's side is a mix of American Indian, Caucasian, and black. If you're going to preach at me, dude, somebody says that's not the video, whatever. He says he's the president, right? Says he's the president. Sounded like he needed some new shocks in his damn vehicle is what he sounded like. Let's see. Is this the video? All right, let's see if this one's it. I am not getting... Now I'm going to get suggested a bunch of this bullshit. Thanks, guys.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's going to happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, fuck around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig?
You dig? You're going to be digging some stuff. Because I don't call the police. I don't call 911. All right? We're in 811 country right now.
Bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and it needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't going to act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are going to legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public's going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tiring.
This guy's a clown. Okay. Oh, my God. All right, well. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Jokers to the right, clowns to the left. Told you. Line 2, go right ahead, line 2.
Yes, I called a few minutes earlier about not voting our way out of this. How do we, the people, get word to Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth to see if they will have our backs if we decide to take care of this and let them know that we've had enough? We, the people, have had enough.
You know, I think the best thing you can do, I hate to say it, is get on social media. Donald Trump follows social media, tag him on everything. He follows it. His staff follows it. Thank you for calling, sir. I agree. You've got to you've got to get the message out. I try to get the message out here. I'm going to probably one finger wave some people this morning when I'm going to work. Right? Probably. I'll get the word out. Line 2, go right ahead, line 2. Line 2 hung up. Okay. Line 2 hung up. Wow, that guy is crazy. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's go here. Line 2, go right ahead, line 2.
Good morning. This is Davette from PA, excuse me.
Good morning.
So I got to say it's somewhat terrifying to see that the Black Panther group is now coming out the way they are. I mean, it's bad enough we've got illegals and cartel people here and the Muslims, but now these guys, it's like, my goodness, what in the world is going on? And I love what Bobby had to say of arresting them all, but do we really have enough room in the prison system to put them all? Because there's an awful lot.
We don't. We literally don't. Not only do we not have enough people we don't have enough law enforcement or prison guards. We don't have enough. I really don't think we do. I agree. Bobby was right. Thank you for calling.
Question. Do you think that's when we'll need to maybe start doing citizen arrests I don't know who would be doing that either, but I mean, it seems like that may be where we have to go.
Ooh, citizen's arrest. That's going to be a slippery, dangerous slope.
Very true.
I appreciate you calling. I am not recommending anybody go do any citizen's arrest. If you can avoid conflict, avoid it. If you can avoid conflict, avoid it. We're streaming over on X. This is my X account right here. We're streaming right there. You can see me stream, blah, blah, blah. So there you go. We're streaming there on X. We got a lot of stuff. Me watching liberals get pepper sprayed in the face. Yeah, that's me. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Name of Ben's G.I. Joe pick is Shipwreck. You're right about that. Lines are open. Here we go. Let's try this one again. Line 2. Go right ahead, line 2.
Good morning. It's Heidi from Canada, Quebec.
Good morning, Heidi.
How are you?
Not Canadian, so I'm amazing.
Good for you. Hey, I was just like watching you with that Black Panther thing there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that looks like a terrorist. That looks like insurrection. It's like I feel like people are gonna have to start choosing their camp. It's like and it's the same. Like I see it like all over the world. You know, it's not you know, the left, the right. It's not even about that. It's about good and evil. I mean, you can see how people are just being totally brainwashed into these stupid protesting violence, and it's really evil people. They're out of their minds.
I agree with you, Heidi. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you. Buy your Chinese flags now while they're discounted. Get your Chinese flags now.
Listen, I couldn't believe it when I heard him say it the way he said that. I mean, first of all, I think China, I'm going to make this quick, but I think that China had a lot to do with our elections. And I think he was placed here, and even the paid media, the fake media of Canada, like what is it called? The CB. I don't watch it anymore. Even they are turning against him. His own party, the Liberals, so many are turning against him. This guy is insane. He's only thinking of Brookfield. I don't know if you know Brookfield.
I do. Thank you for calling, Heidi. I appreciate you. God bless Heidi. Heidi, get your Chinese flags while they're at a discount. They hate pork, beer, dogs, bikinis, Jesus, and freedom of speech. Why the hell do they come to America? Why come to America if you hate everything that I like? I like a hot dog. I like bacon. I like bikinis. I love Jesus. I love freedom of speech. So why come here? I would never go to your country and make fun of you wearing burqas and all of your goats with shaved butts. I would never go there and do that. I would never do that to you. I would stay out, and I don't vacation anywhere that Wheel of Fortune's never given a vacation destination away to. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call before I head to work. They want to take everything away. Yeah, I agree. They do want to take everything away. Line 2, go right ahead, line 2.
Morning, Ben.
Good morning.
Hi. I just wanted to call and talk about the Fauci ouchie.
Sure, make it quick.
So my husband passed away from COVID in 2021. And we had decided together that we weren't going to get the shot. And I do work for the government. And sure. I was to the point where they were, you work, trying to force us to get the shot. And I said, no, I'm not getting it. I was waiting to be fired. Waiting every day to go to work to be fired because I was refusing to get the shot.
I don't want this to... Hold on.
I didn't get it.
Hold on. I don't want this to turn into a conversation about that. My point was the Democrat Party made you show papers to maintain your job or whatever, But now they're freaking out because we want to check the papers for the immigration status for the people here. That's my entire point. That's my entire point. That's my entire point. It's what's done is done. Someone needs to be held accountable. But the Democrat Party is a party of hypocrites. That's my point. That is my entire point. Okay? Do me a favor if you want to support the channel. There's various ways you can do that. I am going today. There's a guy at the Guitar Center where I frequent. He has pulled 2 used guitars off the shelf. I'm going to go buy 2 used guitars. I'm going to donate those to some veterans. If you would like to get involved with that, let me show you how you can get involved. If you want to get involved with that, number 1, join the channel as a member. You'll get direct access to exactly what I'm doing. Sign up for this newsletter. I'm going to put all of this stuff out. There's my newsletter. Andrea, Christ is King. That's my newsletter. I'm going to keep everybody updated. I help vets with service dogs, and I'm going to start doing some other stuff. No, you're not the same Panther Party. Yeah, you know what? I know a guy that I need to talk to that was a member of the Black Panthers during the 80s. Actually, a good friend of mine. And he said the Black Panther Party changed. You know what? Let's do this. Hold on just a second. Let me call my resident Black Panther. Let me just call him.
Hey.
Dave, are you a member of the Black Panther Party? Good morning. You're my resident expert on the Black Panther Party, Dave.
Man, let me tell you about these fake black folks. They talking all this mess. They're doing all this whooping, trying to act like they grandpas from back in the 60s. But the minute a real ICE agent pulls out a real gun, they're going to be the first ones running. Most black people with a job that's not unemployed and just looking for something to do love the lower egg prices, lower gas prices, love the fact that now some of these jobs that was taken up by illegal aliens, we don't say undocumented, workers, illegal aliens, now that they're being kicked out, we're getting those jobs back and people hiring us. Most black people are sitting back loving this. And as for the crime statistics, those black people are the ones that are in gangs and not doing anything good anyway. Most black people trying to make a living with a good government job, you know what I'm saying, professionals, they're not out there shooting and killing nobody. I'm going to be careful, but there's a certain type of black people that black people can't stand. And y'all have heard that before. If you haven't, you need to listen to what Chris Rock has said probably about 15 years ago about black folks versus Negroes. I'll just put it that way.
My thing is here, Dave, is...
Greg. I mean, I'm sorry, G-Dub. This is G-Dub.
I know, but I just call everybody Dave now that I got the Dave clip.
Oh, that's right, because I was listening to you on 3X. That was hilarious.
My thing is, I believe for the first time in a long time that that black Americans feel that they have more value than illegal aliens. Because for a long time, the Democrat Party put illegals, or they put black Americans higher in value. As soon as black Americans started waking up, you're not worth shit anymore, Dave. You're not worth anything anymore, you know?
And where it started, the seed of that was abortion. They convinced so many black people in the black community to have abortions that their numbers weren't being replaced as much. You know, like we said, there were 13%, but we've been stuck at 13% for decades. So now the Democrats had to panic and say, okay, where's our next wave coming from? Because as blacks do move up, as we do get professional jobs, right? When we do start looking at our taxes and where the money is going and going, wait a minute, this don't make sense. As we do start voting more conservative, now they really got to find a new batch of dependent people. You get where I'm going with that?
Completely agree. I completely agree. Completely agree. Dave, G-Dub, I appreciate you calling.
All right. Take care, man.
Take care, buddy. I appreciate you. That right there is a brother from another mother. That is G-Dub in Compton, California. Hold on.
Who is it? It's me, Dave. Open up, man. I got stuff. Dave's
me, Dave.
not here.
It's me, Dave. It's me, Dave. Yeah, somebody wanted to know if I had Venmo here. Venmo is at Veteran Biker. There we go. There's my Venmo. I don't even know if I really use Venmo very much, but whatever. There's my Venmo. Guys, gals, girls, you heard it straight out of Compton. You heard it straight out of Compton. And I agree. That's Compton call it. Yeah, Mike ACG. I just call everybody Dave this morning. It's no big deal. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Somebody said Landon. That was a shitty something. The post I questioned that was, I don't know. Landon, I'm sorry if something got taken down. I don't know. It's probably YouTube. Nobody in the chat, no moderators are taking anything down. We don't delete anything. If YouTube takes it down, that's YouTube. I'm very sorry. I hope you don't get offended. Chapstick for the ring piece. I don't know. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Get your phone calls in. Dave's not here. Yeah. Ben, great show. Amend the Insurrection Act to include expanded powers to the Insurrection Act. Zero tolerance for this BS. I'm pissed. Retro Bill, thank you. Super chat from, okay, we got that one. Line 2. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Dave, a.k.a. Eidolon.
What's up, buddy?
Just a quick idea about the Insurrection Act.
Mm-hmm.
How about we use this to go after the financiers of these riots and use civil asset forfeiture to take the funds away?
Kash Patel just said last night on an interview on News Nation with John Solomon that is exactly what's happening. You might have missed that clip, but that was actually something that he said last night. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other name to look for, Anna Paulina Luna pulled it up, was Neville Roy Singham. He's a billionaire based out of Shanghai, and it's his organizations more than Soros that are paying the rioters in Minnesota right now.
I knew if we followed the money, it would go to China. I knew that was going to happen. Yep. Eidolon, I appreciate you calling. I'm going to play this clip on the way out. You take care. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you. Me and Eidolon can disagree on certain things, but we can agree on one thing.
I can tell you, generally speaking, that these protests, whether it's Minneapolis or LA or Portland or where have you, aren't spontaneous. They don't magically appear. Most of these individuals aren't even from those respective areas. But more importantly, behind that, someone has to pay for it. Somebody has to pay for the transportation. Somebody has to pay for the signs. And when you find things like every single person is holding the exact same sign on the exact same piece of wood and the exact same placard, they didn't get together beforehand and do that. It is an organized, in my opinion, effort to criminally disrupt and cause chaos into our communities. And this FBI is investigating every single organization and person responsible for paying or contributing in any way to the organization.
There you go. Big shout out to Greg S. Greg S. on Cash App. Thank you very much for a $17.76 donation. Amen. Thank you very much.
Hallelujah. And boom shagalaka.
Guys, Neville Roy is Tim Wall's handler. Wow. Well, I got word that Tim Wall's family is headed to China. Smash a like and subscribe button. This is the Ben Dyke Show. I am out of here. I appreciate your time. Thank you for allowing me to come into your living room. Maybe you're watching on the can. Maybe you're watching on the job, in the office, listening on your drive in. Thank you for allowing me to have a little coffee with you. And I want to say rest in peace. And I want to say thank you to Scott Adams for what he did. Scott Adams' Morning Coffee with Scott Adams was a show that I watched a lot. I would have it on in the background at work. And I really appreciate, I am not Scott Adams. I am not Rush Limbaugh. I am much probably more angry than both of them. But I really appreciate you allowing me the time to come in and share some of my opinions, my anger, my what I would say retribution for what I'm seeing in America right now. And yeah, I'm just as pissed as you are off. I'm just as angry as you are. And let's close it out with a little Limbaugh laws. How about that? Let's do the Limbaugh law. Let's go here.
Everybody's making immigration proposals these days. Let me add mine to the mix. Call it the Limbaugh laws. First, you immigrate to our country, you have to speak the native language. You have to be a professional or an investor. No unskilled workers allowed. Also, there'll be no special bilingual programs in the schools with the Limbaugh laws, no special ballots for elections, no government business will be conducted in your language. Foreigners will not have the right to vote or hold political office. If you're in our country, you cannot be a burden to taxpayers. You are not entitled to welfare or food stamps or other government goodies. You can come if you invest here, an amount equal to 40,000 times a daily minimum wage. If not, stay home. But if you want to buy land, it'll be restricted. No waterfront, for instance, and as a foreigner, you have to relinquish individual rights to the property. And another thing, you don't have the right to protest. You're allowed no demonstrations, no foreign flag waving, no political organizing, no bad-mouthing our president or his policies. You're a foreigner. Shut your mouth or get out. And if you come here illegally, you're going to jail. Now,
there we go.
Think the Limbaugh laws are harsh? Well, every one of the laws I just mentioned are actual laws of Mexico today. That's how the Mexican government handles immigrants to their country. Yet Mexicans come here illegally and protest in our streets. How do you say double standard in Spanish? How about no mas?
No mas. Perfect timing for a clown with this comment. Rob8331 calling Rush a heroin addict. Actually, he was addicted to pain pills, probably because of the cancer that he suffered. But I thought we would make it through a day without a flush. I guess not. Rob8331. Enjoy your ride to the septic tank. Enjoy the ride. Get in there with the other wrinkle necks. We're exactly where you need to go. Guys, I don't want to press 1 for English ever again. Ever again. Take care. Ben Dyke Show is out.